Hello and welcome to our special broadcast Champion the Paris Roundup edition, where we will bring you top highlights of Paris Olympics 2024, reports on records created at Paris Olympics, who were the real champions in their debut Olympics and more. Let's begin. So curtains are finally down on the 2024 edition of Olympics that took place in Paris, and the baton has now been handed over to Los Angeles, who are all set to host the 2028 edition of the prestigious event. Our next report brings you top highlights from the entire event, update on record makers and breakers, and a lot more. Take a look.
Curtains fell on the 2024 Paris Olympic Games. After 2 magnificent weeks, this epic celebration of sports and fellowship ended as it began. The baton handed over to Los Angeles for the 2028 Games. The fierce contest for most gold medals at the Paris Olympics ended in a 40-40 tie between China and the United States. However, the US tally topped the medals table with a whopping 126 overall compared to 91 for China. Japan won 20 gold medals and Australia came at 4th place with 18 golds. Host France managed to finish at the 5th spot with 64 medals overall, including 16 golds. The awe-inspiring Stade de France transformed into a grand concert hall, celebrating the conclusion of the Paris Olympics with a spectacular closing ceremony. The event showcased a mesmerizing display of artistry featuring stars like Snoop Dogg, Billie Eilish and Red Hot Chili Peppers. It was a fantastic farewell to the 16-day event. Moreover, Hollywood star Tom Cruise abseiled from the roof and then made off with a flag on a motorbike, setting the tone for the transfer to Los Angeles, the next hosts of the Games in 2028.
This closing ceremony was really beautiful. It was a great closure. Lots of emotions. These games were really a great success. The athletes took us through great moments of joy and delight. It was really intense, and congratulations to France.
It's been great, and the people are just so much fun. They want to do so many things. There are so many different experiences to do, so many people from all around the world, so it's been great.
From the records perspective, the Paris Olympics witnessed the peak of athleticism, with 125 Olympic records being broken in 10 disciplines and 32 world records being broken across 8. Paris bid goodbye to the Olympics with a message about importance of protecting the spirit of the Games in an uncertain world riven by conflict. It had an unprecedented riverside opening ceremony that broke with tradition by taking place along the Seine 2 weeks earlier. This edition of the Olympic Games witnessed record ticket sales and a huge surge in TV viewership and record ad sales as well. Against all odds, Paris has delivered. Just a few weeks ago, the chances of a successful Games in the City of Lights seemed slim. Record levels of impurities or pollutants in the river Seine, France in a political crisis, security officials fearful of an attack. But France has overcome all the obstacles and put up a big show. With the Paris Games concluded, Los Angeles, the vibrant city of angels, will host the next Summer Olympic Games from the 14th to the 30th of July 2028. Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass acknowledged the high bar set by Paris by emphasizing LA's unique identity as a beacon of diversity. With a population of approximately 3.9 million as of 2020, Los Angeles is the second largest city in the US, following New York City. With Narayan Singh's inputs from Paris, Sports Desk, DD India.
Now, India's campaign at the Paris Olympics finished with 6 medals overall. A total of 117 Indian athletes participated across 16 sporting disciplines at the Paris Games. Well, the Paris Olympics will also be remembered with this for as many as 6 fourth places finished for India. This was also India's 3rd best performance ever at the Games. Here's a detailed report on how the nation fared at the Paris Games. Take a look.
India's campaign at the 2024 Paris Olympics finished with 5 bronze and 1 silver medal. The 6 medals from Paris were won by Manu Bhakar, Sarobjot Singh, Neeraj Chopra, Aman Shehrawat, Swapnil Kusale and the men's hockey team. India started their campaign well, with shooter Manu Bhakar winning a bronze in women's 10-meter air pistol event. Later, Bharkar created history by becoming first Indian to win multiple medals at an Olympic edition post-independence when she partnered with Sarabjot Singh for a bronze medal in mixed team 10-meter air pistol event. The hope for a double-digit medal tally was further ignited when Swapnil Kusale won India's first medal in 50-meter rifle 3 positions event, winning the bronze medal. This was India's third medal in rifle shooting after Abhinav Bindra's gold in men's 10-meter air rifle at Beijing 2008 and Gagan Narang's bronze in the same event at London 2012. The Indian hockey team defeated Spain 2-1 to win successive bronze medal after it failed to win their semi-final against Germany. It was their first back-to-back medals for the hockey team in 52 years. In the big javelin final, India's poster boy Neeraj Chopra clinched the silver medal. He came second best behind Pakistan's Arshad Nadeem, who won the gold medal. With 2 medals in 2 Olympics, Chopra joined the elite club of Sushil Kumar, PV Sindhu to bag medals at 2 consecutive Olympics. The last medal came from young wrestler Aman Shehrawat, who lost his semi-final match but won the bronze medal match to give India its 6th and last medal. With this, he also became the youngest Indian medalist at the age of 21. But there were many near misses for India. There were as many as 6 fourth-place finishes. Apart from this, there were 2 occasions where India was 1 win away from securing a medal. Overall, India was short from their initial ambition of a double-digit figure, but 6 medals and 6 fourth-place finishes indicates that India did well. This was India's third best performance ever at the Games. 6 fourth-place finishes represent the narrow margins of how these games are perceived. Sports Desk, DD India.
Now, India's flag bearers at the closing ceremony, Manu Bhaker and P.R. Srijesh, were felicitated by the Indian Olympic Association at the closing ceremony. Speaking on the occasion, Indian men's hockey team goalkeeper P.R. Srijesh said that it is a great honor, whereas double Olympic medalist Manu Bhaker said that this will be cherished for a lifetime.
It's a great honor, last tournament, and got this opportunity to carry the flag in the closing ceremony. So fantastic. And Manu, 2 medals, great Olympics for her. How do you feel?
I feel great, and carrying the flag in the closing ceremony would be an honor of a lifetime, and I'll always cherish this memory.
Many players have scripted lifetime memories for themselves. Let's now take a look at all the medalists from this edition of Paris Games 2024, along with a quick analysis from the member of contingent versus the medals that India has secured so far. So let's talk about it. If we talk about the medal, the athletes, sports and total members, first to begin with the silver medal. So the silver medal was bagged by athlete Neeraj Chopra in the sport of discipline of javelin throw. If we talk about the total number of members who represented India in track and field, it was the highest, which was 27. India secured silver from athletics. Talking about bronze medal, the entire hockey contingent comprising of 19 members, they got a bronze, and this was also their consecutive second bronze at any edition of Olympics. In Tokyo also they bagged a bronze, and at this edition also they bagged a bronze, defeating Spain. There were 2 bronze which were bagged by shooter Manu Bhaker, and she did it in style. If we talk about the overall contingent, there were 21 members who participated in shooting from India at the Paris Games, and Manu Bhaker came out brilliantly with bagging 2 bronze medals in individual categories. So with this, Manu Bhaker, after Norman Pritchard, also became the second Indian athlete to become a double Olympic medalist in same edition of Olympics, and the first after the independence era. Moving on, let's take a look at other medalists also who created glory for India. The Manu and Sarabjot together bagged another bronze. So talking about shooting again, a 21-member squad represented India in the sport of shooting at the Paris Games. Manu Bhaker bagged her 3rd bronze with Sarabjot Singh, and then Swapnil Kusale of shooting also happened to bag a bronze in 50-meter rifle 3-position event for Team India at the Paris Games. There was another bronze medal, the 5th bronze medal, which was bagged by Aman Shehrawat, wrestler. And with this feat, he also became the youngest Indian wrestler to bag a bronze medal at an Olympic edition. If you talk about the wrestling contingent, a total number of 6 wrestlers participated from India at the recently concluded Paris Games. So this is all about the medalist who created glory at Paris Games 2024 for India. Moving on, now let's also take a look at India's performance in Olympics over the years, particularly since the year 2000. So, if we talk about Sydney 2000 edition, India was positioned at 71st position and India then bagged only one medal. And also if we talk about another editions, the Rio, Tokyo and Paris editions are there in front of your screens, in which India bagged a 2 number of medals in Rio edition, 7 number of medals in Tokyo edition and 6 number of medals at Paris edition. Going back in Athens, India got just a single medal, and they were 65th in the medals tally. In Beijing also India did not do very good. But then if we talk about the last 3 editions of Olympics, from Rio to Tokyo to Paris Olympics, there has been a significant increase and India couldn't manage to match the same level as Tokyo Olympics. They were just short of a single medal. But then overall, if we look at the number of contingent, the number of players who represented India at the Paris Olympics, it was 117 and India did a great job securing 6 medals. The highest ever medal tally since 2000 has been only in Tokyo Olympics, when India bagged a total number of 7 medals and they were ranked 48th, and this time in Paris Olympics they are ranked 71 in the medal tally. So this is so far India's position at different Olympics editions since the year 2000, since the Sydney 2000 Olympic edition. Moving on, it's now time to get you another quick stat fact from this edition of Paris Olympics. So let's take a look at the top highlights of Paris Olympics 2024. First of all, the medal events. There were 329 medal events. So you can imagine the number of athletes who participated at Paris Games. 329 medals were up for grabs. Moving on, if you talk about the medal production, that also is a very significant part. 5,084 18 grams of iron was from the Eiffel Tower itself, which was incorporated to produce the medals at the Paris Games. Isn't that environmentally friendly? Now, talking about gender equality, there were 20 mixed gender medal events, out of which out of 32 spots, 28 reached full gender equality. So if we talk about gender parity, this is also a new milestone that the Paris Games has achieved. Moving on, let's talk about Olympic records. In the process of Paris Olympic Games, 125 Olympic records have been created, have been broken rather, across 10 different sporting disciplines at this Paris edition. We are talking about the overall international highlight of this Paris Games. Now let's also talk about the world records. 32 world records have been broken in 8 different sporting disciplines at the Paris Games edition, making it even more memorable for all the players and for all the spectators as well. Now let's also talk about the NOC and IOC participants. Now 91 NOCs and the IOC refugee Olympic team have won the medal, surpassing all the records which have been set in previous Olympic edition. And let's also talk about the first timers. So 4 NOCs won their first Olympic Games gold medal. Who are these 4 NOCs? They are Botswana, Dominica, Guatemala and St. Lucia, who've created history being the NOCs at this edition of Paris Olympic Games. Now let's also talk about ticket sales, how much the fan engagement was actually there on ground. Over 9.5 out of 10 million tickets were already sold out at the Paris Olympic Games, making it a wonderful spectacle visually for all the fans there. And if you talk about the own house, like the India House, you would remember India had its own India House at the Paris Games. 15 nations hosted their own houses at Paris Games. So this was also a very unique experience for all the fans of those particular countries going to Paris Games to attend those events. And if you talk about the attendance record, that's altogether another milestone. Rugby sevens, handball and beach volleyball set a new attendance record, which also, suggests us the popularity of this game, which is on a rise these days. So this is altogether the overall record, the overall top highlights of the Paris Olympic Games that has been created at this particular edition of Paris Olympics, and why and how it was so unique at this time. And now it's time to bring you a collection of beautiful moments that unfolded across the mesmerizing city of Paris. Engulfed in sporting spirit, the city of Paris now boasts of hosting a successful edition of Olympics decked with moments of glory and music in each story.
A fortnight of the greatest sporting show on the planet promised magic and sporting action of the highest standard. From the pool to shooting ranges, to the track and the boxing rings and the wrestling mats, there was something special happening across the French capital. We tell you all those moments which caught eye at this Paris Olympics. Australia's Ariane Titmus outpaced swimming legend Katie Ledecky and Canadian Phenom Summer McIntosh to win gold in the women's 400-meter freestyle race, billed as the race of the century. In the high-profile swimming showdown, a battle of the last three world record holders in the event, Titmus led wire to wire and touched first. The three-way duel that had been hyped finished how most people in the sport expected it would be, with Titmus, the reigning Olympic champion, still atop the world. For the first time in Olympic history, 8 men ran under 10 seconds in wind legal race. Individually, it was not the fastest 100-meter race of all time, but the collective made for one of the tight finish. World champion Noah Lyles rode to victory in 9.79 seconds to claim gold in a dramatic men's Olympic 100-meter final in the closest finish in modern history. Just 5 thousandths of a second separated him from Jamaica's Kishan Thompson. 35-year-old Azerbaijan archer Yalugal Ramazanova defied the odds at Paris as she won hearts over the world as she competed at the sporting extravaganza despite being 6.5 months pregnant. In an Instagram post, the Azerbaijani archer talked about her experience of competing at the event with a bloated belly. She wrote, "I felt my baby kick me before I shot this last arrow and then I shot a 10. Chinese badminton star He Bingjiao's display of true sportsmanship caught attention. While receiving her silver medal, she held a small Spain flag to show her support towards Spain's Carolina Marin, whose Olympic journey unfortunately ended after she was injured in the semi-final match. It was a sign of respect to the Spanish player who won their first game and was up 10-8 in the second before having to quit due to injury. Turkish shooter Yusuf Dikak won Turkey's first Olympic shooting medal, but it's his pose that took over the games. Dikak went viral for his relaxed style in the competition that got him to a silver medal in the 10-meter air pistol mixed team event. The most shared images shows Dikak shooting in a t-shirt with one hand in his pocket, a seemingly standard pair of glasses and an impassive look on his face. Novak Djokovic stunned Carlos Alcaraz in a memorable men's final to clinch tennis gold and become only the 5th player to complete the Golden Slam of all 4 majors, plus Olympic gold. The 37-year-old celebrated with a roar which echoed around Roland Garros. Djokovic won everything in tennis, but an Olympic gold was the only missing thing in his cabinet. US gymnast Simone Biles won everyone's heart after she bowed to her arch rival Rebecca Andrade on the podium. Biles was widely praised for her act. Biles said it was just the right thing to do after she and teammate Jordan Chills finished in silver and bronze medal position respectively, behind the Brazilian in the floor final. Sweden's pole vaulter and termed as the greatest of modern time, Armand Duplantis started jumping in all earnest after everyone else had stopped. The pole vaulter first broke the Olympic record after defending his gold medal, and then he went for his own world record. After failing the first 2 times, he soaked in the drama, all eyes on him as he sailed 6.25 meters over the bar in a manner most cinematic. Cuban wrestler Mizan Lopez made Olympic history when he became the first athlete to win 5 consecutive individual golds in the same event, bettering the records of games icons such as Carl Lewis and Michael Phelps. Lopez then placed his shoes in the center of the mat as a signal that he is retiring from the sport. Ethiopian-born Dutch athlete Sifan Hassan stunned all as she won the women's marathon in record Olympic time of 2 hours 22 minutes and 55 seconds. Hassan outkicked Ethiopia's Tigist Hasefa to take the gold medal. What was special though was Hassan came into the marathon on the back of 2 bronze medals won in the 5,000 meter and 10,000 meter in an astonishing bid for podium placings in all the 3 events. Sports Desk, DD India.
Well, Indian men's hockey team won back-to-back bronze medals at Tokyo and then Paris Olympics edition after a long gap. DD India correspondent Narayan Singh spoke to the Indian hockey player Sanjay Rana, who told us more about team strategy and planning for the mega tournament. Take a listen.
Back-to-back medals in the hockey at the Paris Games, and after Tokyo it was second bronze for India and it created history after a long gap, winning back-to-back medals in the Olympics. Right now I am joined by Sanjay. संजय, फैंटास्टिक परफॉर्मेंस, बहुत शानदार खेला आप लोगों ने.
काफ़ी टाइम से जैसे एशियन गेम्स में हमने क्वालिफाई किया था ओलंपिक के लिए, उसी टाइम से हम फुल तैयारी में लगे हुए हैं, प्रैक्टिस कर रहे हैं। प्रो लीग के मैचेस वगैरह थे, जो हमारी प्लानिंग थी उसके ऊपर हम काम कर रहे थे काफ़ी लंबे टाइम से। और हमारा यही था कि इस बार मेडल का रंग हम चेंज करें, लेकिन हम सेमीफाइनल लूज कर गए किसी कारण, तो जैसे कि हम गोल्ड नहीं जीत पाए।
ब्रिटेन के साथ मैच था क्वार्टर फाइनल, बहुत शानदार रहा। 10 मैन डाउन हो गए थे आप, 10 लोगों के साथ खेलना, वो भी एक क्वार्टर फाइनल में ओलंपिक जैसे टूर्नामेंट में, कितना मुश्किल था और कैसे आपने उस चीज को मतलब एक बराबर रखा अपने आप को जो ब्रिटेन की टीम थी उनके साथ?
जैसे अमित को कार्ड हुआ, ये एक पार्ट है स्पोर्ट्स का कि आपको कभी भी कुछ भी हैपन हो सकता है वहाँ पे। अगर तो हमने कार्ड होने बाद ये सोचा कि यार आज अमित के लिए खेलना है और इनसे कुछ भी हो जाए हम हारेंगे नहीं, चाहे हमें डबल ड्यूटी करनी पड़े या चाहे कोई इंजरी भी हो, कोई मैटर नहीं करता, हमें मैच निकालना ही निकालना है। तो बहुत टफ हो जाता है 10 मैन के लिए, आप डिफेंस करते रहोगे पूरे टाइम और आपको मतलब बिल्कुल अपना 100% देना होगा हर चीज़ में। शायद इन सभी चीज़ों के करके हम वो मैच जीते।
इस बार कुछ विशेष प्लानिंग थी कि गोल इस बार जो अंतिम क्षण में गोल खाते वो नहीं होने देना है?
अब जैसे कि अगर कोई टीम जीत रही है, तो जैसे आपने वर्ल्ड कप में देखा होगा, जर्मनी और ऑस्ट्रेलिया का मैच था, ऑस्ट्रेलिया ने लास्ट मिनट में गोल खाए। तो ये नहीं है कि एक इंडिया टीम ही लास्ट मिनट में गोल होते हैं, नहीं, अगर आप जीत रहे हो और आप लास्ट के 2 या 3 मिनट आपको डिफेंस करने पड़ते हैं, तो कहीं ना कहीं कोई जगह में लूज कर जाते हैं जहाँ से गोल या कुछ भी, वो हर टीम के होते हैं। लेकिन इस बार प्लानिंग बहुत अच्छी थी, सबने मिलके प्लान किए और प्रो लीग के मैच जो हमने खेले उसके अंदर हम जो भी गलतियां मिस्टेक करते थे, हमने वो मिस्टेक सुधारी है इस बार बहुत ज़्यादा।
It's now time to take a look at the medal tally that concluded at the Paris Olympics 2024. Who've been the top gainers? So it is USA who got a total number of 126 medals, which means 40 gold, 44 silver and 42 bronze medals with a spectacular performance. China came at the second position, having this total number of medals at 91. Out of which 40 were gold, 27 silver and 24 bronze. Japan remained at the third position with 20 gold medals, 12 silver and 13 bronze, having made it to the total number of 45. And Australia, France and the Netherlands were at 4th, 5th and 6th position, having the place at 53, 63 and 34 secured for themselves at this edition of Paris Olympics 2024. So this is the top 6 gainers of the Paris Olympics 2024, and Great Britain happened to be at the 7th position, Korea, Republic of Korea at 8th position, Italy at 9th, Germany at 10th, New Zealand and at 11th position. And if we talk about India, India ended its place at 71st position with a total number of 6 medals added to its kitty at this particular edition of Paris Olympics. But the journey is not over, and all eyes are now on LA28. So in the summer of 2028, Los Angeles will welcome the world for an unparalleled Olympic and Paralympic Games experience, as the best athletes from around the globe will compete on the biggest stage in sports. The opening ceremony of Olympic Games will take place on the 14th of July in the year 2028, whereas the opening ceremony of Paralympic Games will take place on the 15th of August in the same year. Hollywood star Tom Cruise added a cinematic flair to the closing ceremony of Paris Games, where, in a dramatic stunt, he rappelled from the roof of France's National Stadium to receive the Olympic flag, symbolically marking the transition from Paris to Los Angeles as the next Olympics host. The flag's journey through Los Angeles was a celebration of the city's rich history and culture. It passed through the hands of US Olympians, both past and present, as it travelled across the city, culminating in a beach party featuring performance by LA music legends like the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Billie Eilish and Snoop Dogg alongside Dr. Dre. Los Angeles Mayor acknowledged the high bar set by Paris, but also emphasized that Los Angeles' unique identity will be a beacon of diversity for upcoming Los Angeles edition of Olympic Games. And before we close, we are leaving you with these visuals from the closing ceremony of Paris Olympics for one final time. And with this, it's a wrap from this special edition of Champion the Paris. We hope that you liked our special coverage, Champions to Paris, straight from day one to the end day of Paris Olympics. We equally enjoyed it, bringing you all the reports straight from Paris with exclusive content. Thank you so much for joining us and being a very important partner in this Olympic journey. Namaskar.